What's up, guys? Welcome out to another episode recording with Kaz Queen, and as always, I'm Kaz.
And I'm Queen.
And guess what, guys? This is episode number 50. This is the season finale of season 2. We've gotten through another 25 episodes in this season, man. Yay! Yes, we did. Whoop, whoop. We made it through to the end, so we're going to take a little brief hiatus as we get ready to recharge and get ready to bring you some new conversations and some new things and see what we can switch up and make different.
Yeah.
For season 3.
Yeah.
Got some ideas.
3 seasons, baby. Can you believe we did 3 seasons?
Yeah.
We're at 3 seasons.
We're at 3 seasons. We're at 3 seasons. So I'm thinking of cool things that we can do in season 3. I'm trying to make this even more leisurely than it already is. So we've taken it.
Before we go do it from the bed?
We've taken it.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
That is a thought.
I ain't mad at that.
That is a thought. So we're going to do some, we're going to have some production meetings, and we're going to figure out how to make this even more comfortable for us. I think my goal is to figure out how to make this experience as comfortable as possible. So the bed actually sounds like a good thing.
I'm not mad at it.
If there's a way to...
It's very Franklin-ish.
Yeah. If there's a way to figure that out, that seems like that would be the ultimate end goal. Maybe we need to take another step in between before we get there. Because once we start doing the show from the bed, at that point...
Where do we go from there?
Yeah, we've achieved. That's final boss status right there on the video game. We've made it to the bed. So this is episode 50. And this has been a pretty informative season. I think this season we've had a lot more revelations, and we've had a lot more things that
a lot of breakthroughs.
Yeah, a lot of breakthroughs. A lot of things that we have revealed about ourselves this season, and I think that's just going to continue to move forward. As we speak right now, school has started again. It's back to school time. The little one is going into the 8th grade. So, in her middle school now, the 8th graders are
King of the hill.
They're the kings of the hill. That's right. They're the bells of the ball, as they call it. So she's going to be experiencing that this year. So we'll see how that goes. School shopping has become an adventure.
Man, one would think that because they have to wear uniforms that it would be less expensive. I don't know because she does have to wear uniforms, but I could tell you that it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
It's absolutely not cheap.
It's not cheap. Her hair costs as much as mine to get done, and she gets it done more often. You have to have certain kind of shoes. You got to have a certain kind of backpack. You got to have a certain kind. And now she's into lip gloss and things of that nature.
We got a preteen.
Yeah, she's fully in, getting to her selfness. And I don't really want to influence that very much. This mothering thing of a daughter is quite different.
It is. It's a crazy thing.
And I'm sure it's the same for, daddying a daughter. So,
daddying a daughter, it is, as a matter of fact. By the way, if you're listening to us right now on streaming services, or even if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're hearing that humming sound in the background that you usually don't hear, usually when we do this show, these are some really good mics. Shouts out to Shure for the mics. It's fantastic. And they pick up everything. So actually, when the air is on in here, you can hear it on the audio. That is, not so much on the video. But if you're listening right now and you're hearing that hum in the background, it's because at this moment that we are doing this show, we are in the midst of a heat advisory in Jackson, Mississippi, and the temperature has topped over 102 degrees. All right. So we ain't cutting the air off, basically.
Y'all gonna have to deal with it today, on this day.
So it is at the point that I never knew you could get to. It is at the point where even when you're running your AC, it is so hot outside, your house can only get so cool.
Yeah.
During the day.
This is where your parents used to tell you to close all the doors. Don't let the air just circulate. Just, get it cool in one room and get in that room and be still.
And, I had the parents that would, cut that air up to about, 78, 79, 80 when it got really hot outside. So it was still nice and toasty on the inside during the summertime because they were, conserving energy, conserving power. And we don't do that in the Franklin household. We trying to get all the bang for the buck that we can get out of our AC. I don't even know what this electricity bill is going to look like when it comes in at the end of August. I don't have any idea. Thankfully, we got budget billing. So I kind of got an idea what it's going to be. It's pretty much the same thing every month. So, we do that because we know we run the air over here quite religiously. So if you're hearing the humming in the background, it's because the AC is still on. It's 102 degrees outside. It's a heat advisory. And I know several places in the country that are experiencing heat advisories right now. It's nothing to play with. It's nothing to fool with. If you don't have to be outside, don't be outside. If you're inside, try to be as comfortable as you possibly can. If you are doing any events during the course of the day that take place before 8 o'clock, God bless you. And God keep you. And God look over you. Because if you're outside at this point, it's because you really want to be. And I hope that whatever it is that you're doing is extremely important and there's a need for you to. And we are in August, and August is usually the hottest month, which is crazy because you're getting into September, which starts the fall. But, in Mississippi, it doesn't really get cool until
December.
Yeah, literally. It doesn't really get cool.
Sometimes January.
Sometimes January.
It's hot on Christmas.
Sometimes it's hot on Christmas. So, global warming is a real thing. I think we talked about that on this show before. So just be very careful in that regard. If you're listening to us right now, of course, you know what it is. This is episode 50. We're on all your streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. We are also on Black with No Chaser Radio. Shouts out to everybody at Black with No Chaser. Shouts out to Tyson, of course, at Black with No Chaser Radio, because he is the guy who I've been corresponding with to make sure that, we got our stuff together. And he's the guy that makes sure that our show is up and make sure that you guys can check it out every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So shouts out to Tyson and
Thanks,
CJ brother. And all of the Black with No Chaser crew over there doing their thing. They just hit 200,000 followers on Instagram, which is a really dope thing, man. It is a website media service that was started right here in Mississippi. And I know you guys out there nationwide are familiar with Black with No Chaser. So shouts out to those guys and shouts out to them for, having us on the station. And of course, youtube.com/Brad Kamikaze Franklin. When I put my finger right here, boom, that's where you go. Make sure that you subscribe to that YouTube page, man. We're almost to 900 subscribers. I wanted to try to get to 1,000 before the season was over with. But we don't want to press y'all too much.
Why is that so significant to you?
Because that's when you can monetize.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you got to get to 1,000 subscribers and then you have to get to 4,000 watch hours. So even when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we still got a few, 100 watch hours that we got to get to the point where we can monetize what we're doing. So keep watching and don't just watch a couple of times, watch a bunch of times.
Watch a lot.
Yeah, share it with your friends so we can get those watch hours up. And then when we get to 1,000.
Watch every day. Yeah. I bet you won't watch every day. I bet you won't.
I bet y'all won't watch every day. Dare you. Make sure you're following us on all the social media, platforms. Of course, we're there as well. Yeah. Got you again. Bam.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Taste it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
That was good. It goes down really smooth.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Brick, I got to be honest with you, that it tastes like pure gasoline. Anyway, man. Of course, the Kundi Collective as well. www.kundicollective.com. We just rambling on here at the end, as you can see, but I got on one of the t-shirts here.
So hot we can't focus.
Right. Love, honor, protect Black women. This is one of my favorite shirts, as a matter of fact, and you can pick it up at www.kundicollective.com. Yeah, man, it's hot. We here. We thugging it out for episode 50. The little one is back in school again, but very important. And we definitely want to talk about, we are in Mississippi. We are in the South. We are in the state that has the largest black population of any other state in the nation. And for those of you that have been watching recently, the big news coming out of Mississippi is, of course, there were 6 Rankin County sheriff's officers, sheriff's deputies from the Rankin County Sheriff's Department that recently were found guilty and have pled guilty to the torturing of 2 black men. I don't know exactly what the specific term is, but if you're familiar with the case, if you've seen some of the footage, if you've heard the account, there's a lawsuit pending against that sheriff's department as well. If you just have glanced across and seen the stories, there were 2 black men in a house. A neighbor reported them for having too much traffic. There was 2 black guys. They saw a lot of white people going in and out of the house, and these Rankin County sheriffs who had labeled themselves as the Goon Squad went into the home of these 2 black men and basically
staying with a white lady.
And there was a lot of white folks coming in and out of the household, and these black guys were there as well. A neighbor called, and these Rankin County officers went over, and as it stands, they tortured these 2 black men for quite a while, shot one of them in the mouth,
sexually
assaulted them as well. The report is out there. I don't want to go in depth on what they actually did to these 2 black men, to other human beings. These are law enforcement officers who are, sworn to serve and protect, who actually did these atrocious things to other human beings. In this case, particularly black men. Rankin County loves to have this reputation as being tough on crime, and we don't allow that and tolerate that in our county. Well, we see now what you do to be tough on crime, and as a black man,
there wasn't a crime though,
right?
They committed the crime.
Well, the tough on crime stance basically in parentheses means being tough on black people. This is how we keep black people under control. We keep black people under thumb. So, we harass them, we profile them, we stop them when they come through our county. When we see the Hines County tags, if we flash the light in their car and we see that they're black, we're going to pull them over. So basically that is their methodology in being tough on crime, is we're going to stop all the black people that we can, and we're going to make black people scared to come through our counties. And it happens in the bedroom communities that surround this city, Rankin County and Madison County. And I tweeted about it on my page, and then there was subsequently a lot of people who started giving their own testimony and their own account of what has happened to them in Madison and Rankin County, incidents where they were harassed, where they weren't doing anything but driving while black, and, had officers stop them and harass them and give them tickets. And, a couple of people said they had, paraphernalia or dope planted in their cars. This is a common thing for black folk, people. This is a very common thing for black folk. And it's high time that people start believing when we say these things. Jason Aldean had this controversy about this song about, what happens in a small town. Well, this is what happens in a small town. And this is why black people were so offended by some of the lyrics of that song. And now it comes to light that there was this goon squad, acting, they say autonomously. The sheriff tries to say that he didn't know anything about it, but, they were acting under the auspices of being law enforcement officers. And it's kind of terrible to see, but, as a black person, as a black woman in the state of Mississippi, we've talked about this a whole lot. And, you've been in the car with me and we've had our experiences before, I'll talk about that in a second. But, when you saw this information and you saw this news coming down, what was some of the first things that you thought about?
The first thing I thought about was, here we go again. That was the first thought. Mm-hmm. The second thought was, it was really extreme and really deliberate, intentional harm. Like, they took pride in the things that they did to those men, and that's upsetting. But I guess my final thought, what I'm left with, and I only read a couple of articles, and I only did so in the last couple of hours. I saw the article come across my timeline, but I did not read it, and I was intentional because I was trying to protect my energy. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the energy for it. But in reading it to have a discussion today, what I'm left with is I'm tired of trying to make white people understand the Black experience. I'm not even sure that I have anything left by way of interest in trying to make white people understand the Black experience. Because I actually believe they're choosing not to understand. It's not, I mean, it's right there. It's plain as day. We're not in making your face. This up. Yes. You have evidence. Years, hundreds of years of evidence that this is true. So for you to be able to find some way in your mind to make this not be true is because you choose for it not to be.
Absolutely.
You want to be ignorant. You want to not accept this as truth.
Absolutely.
And if that's the case, I have no interest in convincing you. And I'm not sure what convincing you would do anyway, if you did believe it. So I'm sick and tired of trying to go to white people to help them understand the Black experience. I'm of the thought that if something's going to change, we need to show them what they do to us. That's where I'm at. I'm tired of us martining this thing, and I really feel like we need to start Malcolm Xing it, by any means necessary. I'm sick and tired, just like Fannie Lou Hamer. So gave y'all 3 historical figures because they were all dealing with the same exact thing that we dealing with today. And I'm sick of it. And I'm tired of reading about it. I'm tired of trying to convince. I'm tired of the denial. I'm tired of the poo-pooing. I'm tired of the no justice. Like, yeah, they said they were guilty, but are they going to jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? We don't know that yet. They could very well get off scot-free. We've seen that happen.
We've seen it happen before. There was clear footage of Rodney King being beaten by 4 police officers. The footage was clear, and they still got off. History just continues to repeat itself because nobody seems to do anything, because the value of our Black lives is just not the same as the value of everyone else's life. And it's offensive, the amount of ignorance that I see people, try to feign on social media. White folks, trying to act as if they can't understand, or trying to act as if, this is an isolated case. And, and the outrage that I'm seeing from some folks, white folks in the surrounding communities. Oh my God, this is terrible. This is disgusting. They need to be under the jail. We have been telling you that this has been going on for decades in Mississippi. We've been telling you that this is happening on a regular basis in Mississippi. We've been telling you that there are goon squads in Rankin County, in Madison County. The only thing different about this particular instance is that they got caught.
And they lived to tell the story. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why this is happening and occurring, because had they been dead, these officers wouldn't be seeing no guilty pleas. They wouldn't be having no time in court. It'll just be an investigation. And then the next thing you know, it's over. And
let me just say this, the sheriff that's, doing the press conferences, and he's, acting all distraught and hurt, and, please, I want the chance to regain your trust again. Listen, the chances, sir, of you not knowing what these rogue racist cops were doing under your watch, for me, I don't believe it.
I think that's possible. What I don't think is possible is that you think we ever trusted you.
I mean,
that's what I'm having a problem with. Trust again.
Well, he made the statement that, this is the reason why people don't trust law enforcement. Well, you're damn right.
Why would we trust law enforcement?
And we have a good reason. And this is not happening to white people. People, again, want to try to say it's not a race issue. These cops were bad cops. And I've seen people saying I've had something bad happen to me in Rankin County. And I've had this particular, some of them have named these particular officers and said that they had incidents with these particular officers. And you may have. I'm not discrediting.
Did you think you were going to die?
Did you think you were going to die?
Did you think that you may never, ever see your mama again, your babies, your wife, your children? Did you feel like that was going to be your last breath?
Did they shoot you in the mouth?
Whenever a Black person gets pulled over by a cop, we actually have to wonder if we're going to get home that night.
Here's the thing, and I said this as well. I have an up-to-date license. I got, you didn't fold your arms, did you? I have
this gets all over me.
Yeah, I know. I have an up-to-date license. I have insurance. I have a tag. I don't ride with paraphernalia on in my vehicle. I may have my music up from time to time, but there's nothing that they're going to find if they stop me in my truck. And I'm deathly afraid of riding through Madison and Rankin County at night. And it's not because I'm doing something illegal. I hear people say all the time, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to be worried about. If you're not breaking the law, you don't have anything to be worried about. There are hundreds of black people who were doing nothing, who were breaking no laws, that are no longer here on this planet. They did not make it home that night simply because of the color of their skin and the place that they were driving. Good license, good insurance, nothing wrong whatsoever. And that particular law enforcement official decided to exercise aggressively his power and abuse his power. It does not matter if you're not breaking the law. It does not matter if you've got all your paperwork together. It does not matter if you are black and you are riding through Rankin and Madison County here in Mississippi. There's going to be a problem. Okay. And there are some people who are happy about that. There are some people who are joyous about that because they feel like that's going to keep the number of black people out of our county. They're going to keep the number of black people in our county down. They feel like that's going to help them be tough on crime. And again, I got to reiterate, harassing people, profiling people, stopping everyone black that comes into your county. That's not being tough on crime. That's lazy law enforcement. You're shooting fish in a barrel. If we decided to stop every white vehicle that had a Rankin or a Madison County tag when they came into Hinds County, we would probably find the same number of people with illegal activity going on in their vehicles. Okay. And then we could say that we were tough on crime, but we don't do that because it's not necessary to do that, because that's not good police work. That's lazy, shoddy, racist police work is what that is. So, this is where we are. And if you have been seeing it's all over the news, and it's starting to make headlines all over the country, starting to make headlines all over the world. This is what happens, Jason Aldean. This is what happens in that small town. This is the kind of justice that gets dealt out in the small town. And I shared one of the pictures on my Twitter. Again, one of these gentlemen recently, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, there's a picture of him going to speak to the Belhaven football team. They had a program where they had, people in the community going to talk to the football team. And this guy got in front of a group of young men, black men, white men at a football team. And I don't know what the focus of the talk was. I don't know if he was teaching them, how to torture black men. I don't know what the subject matter of the talk was, but these are the people that are going out into the community purporting themselves to be good, law-abiding citizens. And you're talking to this football team. And of course, Belhaven has deleted the pic. I just happened to Google it and it was there. And when I clicked on the Twitter link, the picture was down. So of course, shouts out to Belhaven PR. You're doing your job. You're skimming and scamming and making sure that you are getting all of those pictures and scrubbing social media of these pictures of you inviting this racist rogue cop to your school. If you are a parent of a student at Belhaven, you should probably be calling over there and asking them what their process is for vetting the speakers, because y'all let a racist rogue cop come and speak to your football team. And these are the things that have been happening in our community for years. This is the thing that black folks have been having to deal with for decades in our community. And we have been telling you, and no, it is not us playing victim. It is us letting you know succinctly that there is definitely a difference in, the justice that is doled out to black people and the justice that is doled out to white people. The treatment of black people by law enforcement versus the treatment of white people by law enforcement. This goon squad that exists. And we saw it in Memphis with and it just happened to be black guys that ended up beating up and killing a black guy. But these goon squads that exist, these rogue squads, the jump out boys, all of these folks that exist on all of these police forces that are designed to go into the hoods and designed to go in and squash the crime in the hood. And basically what that means is we're going to go in and we're going to slam some black men up against the hood of our cars. We're going to put our foot on some of their necks. We're going to bust down some doors. We're going to be real aggressive because that's what we have to do, because we have to squash and we have to control these savage animals that are black men in our community. And this is the only thing that they understand. And this is the only way that we can help to solve the crime problem. Don't have any proactive measures. They don't have any ideas on what to do for education, any ideas to do for poverty, any ideas to do for economic development, none of those at all whatsoever. But they've got all the answers when it comes to arresting and jailing black men. And killing.
And torturing
black men. And I know that does get on you, but, you know, it's what we do. We're going to talk about that on this show. And, you know, any more developments and things, you'll be seeing them happening while we're on our hiatus. If anything's happening new, once we kick back up for season 3, of course, we're going to talk about it. We talk about the good. We talk about the bad. These are conversations that take place in the privacy of our own home that we bring to you guys here. Again, if you just tuning in with us, this is episode number 50, the season finale of season 2. And, definitely got to kick this thing into high gear because this is something that really had me laughing, and it also had me sighing a little bit as well. Carlee Russell's ex-boyfriend, the gentleman who was dating her when she decided to go on her little sabbatical and go lay up, and had the police force in Birmingham, Alabama and Hoover, Alabama looking for her. There was a flyer of him recently in Atlanta where he was going to be hosting a party, and the party said win a date with Carlee Russell's ex-boyfriend, and he was on the front of the flyer, and he was going to be at a club hosting the party. And I said, we have officially hit rock bottom, because it wasn't even him that went missing. He was just a boyfriend. He was an ancillary player in this whole episode, although, you know, he did make some statements while she was missing. But he has instantly tried to take this and parlay this into some type of social media fame. It's a bit unsettling, but I got to ask you about
it. What?
What?
Like what?
What?
I mean, come on, man. Don't make me say it.
101 is 2 every day. I got enemies. I got a lot of enemies.
Listen. What are you thinking? I
don't know if he's thinking.
So, A, shoot your shot, bro. B, I don't know if there's anything any more distasteful and dismissive that could ever be done in this situation.
Very distasteful.
It's distasteful.
You know what it is?
What is it?
It's D Class A.
Day Class A?
Day Class A. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, was she with him?
They was together. He's the ex.
When she went off, yeah, she was with him?
Yes, he was one.
Well, then it's his story, too. If that's how he want to treat his story, do your thing, bro. I can't really get too involved in how these people think and operate nowadays, because I just don't think and operate that way. Cannot fathom. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't even rationalize it in any way, shape, or form. I ain't got nothing. I mean, the audacity, like, it really feels like he's just kind of smacking us over the head. Like, we did it. Hey, it's a party.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. It's a party. Come on, party with us. She home. She's safe. Y'all ain't got to pray for her no more. Let's party. Win a date with me. I don't know. Right. I would love to know.
Fuck her. Win a date with me.
Yeah. I would love to know if people actually went. What was the cover charge to get in?
This is what happened. The word is that his lawyer put out a statement that he would not be doing it, or was probably not going to be doing it, or they were going to be talking about it because it could interfere with the case.
Duh.
Yeah. So I think it was nipped in the bud. Which
so
I
he
think
didn't have a conversation with anybody. He just got his people together.
Somebody called that man and was like, "Hey, I $1,500, $2,000, whatever. You come show up at this club. We're gonna put you on the fly. We're gonna find you a date, whatever."
The same people that be putting Martin Luther King on them part.
It's a whole lot of them. I mean, just to flies. Be, to be that promoter. What would make you pay for this man to come do that? What kind of shape does your venue have to be in? A, B, what kind of weird human being do you have to be to say to yourself, we're going to get this man in here and we're going to get this popping off and you're going to pay him? The age that we live in with social media, where people are taking a sliver, I'm talking about a sliver of opportunity, and they're turning it into some type of monetary gain, and the uncouthness, that the tactlessness of people to try to cash in on this moment of IG fame or TikTok fame is getting to the point where it's disgusting. When you got to the point where, you got the Home Depot girl, she went out and she started trying to host parties. Like, everybody is taking that little couple of minutes of fame and they're trying to go host parties.
I don't really know if I got a problem with Home Depot girl. Like, she just posted a picture and people flocked to her. So capitalize if you can, sis. I don't really see that as the same thing.
I mean, you know what?
It ain't like she premeditated some really awful situation, and then like she just posted a picture and people was like, "Girl, you work at Home Depot, you beautiful," and blah blah blah. Entrance into IG fame. So take it, But what I'm more concerned about is that there are still going to be people who would go to that party.
Yeah.
That's what's more concerning. So you got one a-hole who would throw the party. You got one a-hole who would actually let somebody talk him into doing some crazy stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the biggest a-hole is the individuals that would actually condone this, pay money, and go to that party.
Yeah, like the females that would say, you know what, I'm finna pay $25. I'm going to go ahead and get a chance to date Carlee Russell's ex-boyfriend, thinking if I hook up with Carlee Russell's ex-boyfriend, I can squeeze in on some of this pub that he getting, because then we'll be together, and then I'll be able to go on social media and say I'm dating, or I went out on a date with Carlee Russell's ex-boyfriend, and now I done put some buzz on my social media pages.
We take too much. We take too much foolishness. We take too much off law enforcement. We take too much off us. We just take too much. Like, you get on the internet and make jokes and laugh and kiki and caca and make all these ridiculous theories and, all of this stuff, but nobody's doing any active thing to make people understand how wrong this is. Like, and you only do that. The only way people are ever going to understand their actions is if you hit their pocket. So the only way you're going to hit this guy's pocket is to boycott this show or this event. Don't go. Nobody should go. The DJ they hired should say, no, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not going. I'm not doing it. The venue they trying to go to should say, man, we're not hosting this crap. Oh, no. This is stupid.
They're not finna get that bag.
Nobody's going to do that, but that's what it's going to take.
Nobody's going to get that bag. I don't think, just collectively as a community, I don't think we've got to the point where we could have a wherewithal to say no, because there's going to always be some people that are just only concerned with the bag, and they're only concerned with their fame and, how it looks. We don't give a damn. We're going to do what we need to do.
That's terrible.
It is terrible.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
That's where we are. Like I said, you've got people who are, putting their lives in jeopardy to pull pranks on people on social media now. I mean, literally, there was a prank getting pulled. I saw one today where the guy had a clear backpack and had stacks of money in the backpack, and he was walking around in the hood, and people were stopping him. Of course, they were stopping him. They was tapping the book bag. Like, it was literally like somebody had dangled a piece of meat in a shark pen, and he was filming himself walking through. And I don't know if it was real money or not, but it was a clear backpack, and he was walking through the hood with money on his backpack. And I was saying to myself, somebody could shoot you right now. Not knowing if there's real money or not, somebody could literally walk up to you, pull out a pistol, and shoot you right here. You could lose your life because you are pulling a prank. It's almost as if you have no fathoming or any regard for your own life. And that's where we are now on social media, and it's a terrible thing. And I don't see it getting any better. I see it getting worse at the end of the day. So anyway, as we get ready to wrap up this season finale, of course, we always reflect on, the episodes that we have done previously. And like I said, we had a lot of breakthroughs this year, a lot more than we did in season 1. And I guess I would say, the new surroundings made it a little bit more comfortable, I think, for those conversations to flow. So what would you say is your biggest takeaway in the conversations that we've had over the past 25 episodes of season 2?
I learned a lot about myself in these conversations. We learned a lot about us as a union. Some of it was uncomfortable. Some of it took days after this of processing for me. But I feel like I'm better. I think that I know for sure that I have grown tremendously over some of those conversations that we had. Mm-hmm. Having to process some things that I didn't want to let go of, trying to hold on to things that I needed to let go of, and having conversations here, and kind of gave me the wherewithal to say goodbye to some of my old thinking patterns. Still, a work in progress, of course, because you don't just say, I don't think that no more, and it goes away. But you can actively start taking steps to reprogram your mind. And I've been doing that. So I'm really thankful for the last season, for this season. It's been very healing for me.
I think having these conversations are good. It's therapy. And they have been good for me as well. If you go back and peruse season 2, there's a lot of highlights, and there's a lot of revelations. I think if you go back through and look, there's a lot of episodes.
Some of them happen right here while the conversation is happening.
Some of them happen right here. Old things that, were pulled up, things that we both were dealing with. This has been a form of therapy for us. This has been a form of couples therapy for us to be able to have these conversations and be transparent. And it's good because, we don't, the gloves are off. When something pops up in our head and a story pops up, if there's an issue, we're actually having these real conversations in front of you right now. And that's how these things happen. We talk a little bit beforehand about what we're going to talk about on the show. But, for the most part, when we're talking about us and we're talking about, these emotions and these experiences that we have, kept under wraps for a while and that we're trying to work our way through, that's real shit that you're saying in real time. So, we appreciate y'all for, following us. I was just running into some folks last night that, said that they watch the podcast.
I still am always overwhelmed, and I really don't know how to act when people say that, but yeah. I noticed this season that there were quite a few more people than the first season who would actually say, I watch your podcast. And it's the weirdest people, like, not weird, but I figure our target audience is a certain thing, and these people are outside of the target audience in my mind. So I'm really thankful that the target audience is growing, and it really is not a set thing.
It's not, and it's growing, and it's people, outside of our regular circle, people outside of the state. People are listening on Spotify. That reaches all over the world. The views have been consistent on YouTube, and they've ebbed and flowed. And, we are just going to keep doing what we do consistently. We're going to just keep giving you the conversations because these are conversations that happen in the privacy of our own home, and we're doing it, live right here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Replay at Thursday at 7 p.m. Cheap plug on Black with No Chaser Radio. But we're here to give you these conversations and have these conversations. We're not here to try to get rich off of this, and we're not here to try to get a TV show on one of the streaming services and networks. If that happens, of course, we're with it all the way 100%.
Sometimes I don't be knowing where you be going. You be just headed down the road.
I just go down the road,
Just go down the road.
At any rate, man, we appreciate y'all for kicking it with us in season 2. This is the season finale. This is not goodbye. This is
see you later.
We're going to see you in just a bit. We're going to recharge and restore. And I don't know how long of a break we took from season 1 to season 2. I got to go back and look and see.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Because it's going to be whenever we decide to start season 3 anyway.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So, usually, September is the time when the new shows and the new seasons come out on a lot of stuff, But maybe it'll be October. Maybe it'll be January. Who knows? We're going to do our thing. It'll probably be a lot because there's a lot going on and we got a lot to talk about. But we definitely going to talk about how we can super leisure doing the podcast next time. Let's see what we can do.
Be careful if it's too leisure.
You're going to look over there and you're going to be fell asleep on this thing. At any rate, man.
What?
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in with us, man. We're going to see y'all on the other side in season 3 very, very, very soon. Go back and take in some of the highlights from season 2, man. So this is according to Kaz Queen. I am Kaz.
And I'm Queen.
See you guys in season 3. All right, peace.